Hi guys, welcome to my sports world. I was gonna make this video yesterday, but after a game, but due to work, I didn't have time. I came home, I watched the game, and I had to go back to work. And what a game it was! 2-2, two goals by Ronaldo. Two late goals in each half. Injury time in first and injury time in the second. However, we could have been leading 1-0 pretty early on by a fluke shot by McTominay, I think it was, who got, um, you know, bounced off another player, rolled off and hit the post and out. It could have gone post and in. So the result could have been different. It was a very open match. I expected this game to be like this. My preview game prediction was a 2-1 win to Manchester United. Well, we let the Atalanta score one goal too many to mess up that prediction. But you know what? Overall, I'm happy with 2-2. It is an away game in Champions League. All away games in Champions League are super tough. Every team in the Premier League or that are in Premier League are struggling away. You saw Chelsea go to Malmö, only win 1-0, and Malmö, I tell you, that's a big difference between Malmö and Atalanta. Atalanta is a team that would have beaten Malmö 2 and 3 and 4 and 5-0. So you see all Premier League teams are really struggling this year on away games in the Champions League. But we now have 7 points. I have said all along that probably 10 to 13 points will get you to the next. Will get you advanced to the next round. 10 points will probably get you a second place, maybe a first place even, the way they turn out now in the league. But probably a 10 point will give you a second, 11 to 13 points will give you the first place. But the first two goes through, so doesn't really matter in a way. We played okay. We had moments where we played really good. We had moments where it was slacked off a little bit. The tempo wasn't too high. I think we could play with a higher tempo. So I would say that was the only thing that I missed from the game, was a higher tempo. When you have people like Rashford on top, I want to see higher tempo. But the reason we didn't see that was because we went there with defensive mindset. You saw it. We had a five person backline, and it was for my taste a little bit too ultra defensive. But I can understand why they did it. They wanted to get a result out of this, and they did. Of course, it would have been better if we had 9 points, but you know what? We have 2 more games. Villarreal in Spain and Young Boys at home. Next game, Atalanta is playing Young Boys, so I think that the Atalanta will beat the Young Boys. I don't think that's going to be a problem, just like Villarreal beat them. And I think we will beat Young Boys at home, so that will give both Atalanta and us another 3 points. And then Atalanta and Villarreal has to play each other head to head in the last game. So one of those teams will give off points. Who? That's the big question. Who? Here's the thing: if we can keep Villarreal to a draw at their place, and we win against Young Boys, then we good. Then we have 11 points. So, and I think that the Villarreal and the Atalanta game could easily end up with Atalanta win. Atalanta is good. Atalanta is a good team with good players. Don't count them out. I mean, Villarreal, they're good, but I think Villarreal is a more opponent that is. If you play them 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna have a more even game against Atalanta, and then against Villarreal, I feel like we have a little edge over them sometimes because they are they are like all out, and even though Atalanta go forward, they're very compact in the back. Very good defending team, and I feel that Villarreal is a little bit less organized in the back. I think that Atalanta is a better team than Villarreal. I really do. The only thing that I really, when you look at the personnel that was used, the thing that I would probably say, but I know why they did this. They started with Ronaldo and Rashford on top. I like to see Cavani and Ronaldo on top more often than when we saw in Tottenham game. But I know why he started with Rashford. You can't start Cavani in each and every game because you run the risk of some injuries. So this was a perfect game to start Rashford because now he gave himself the option and an opportunity to play Cavani and Ronaldo on top against Manchester City. So I think that was what he had also in the back of his mind. And that was also why he took off Bruno at the end, the last 10 minutes or so, to give Bruno a little rest, to not cause any injuries because we need them for the Manchester City game. And I want to say something. The few 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes that Sancho and Van de Beek got they had a huge impact on the game in the last goal. Both of them was highly involved in the last goal. So that was very positive. We have to take every positive thing out of this game. Van de Beek and Sancho had a positive influx on the game when they came in, and it was a really good tactical choice by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to put both in when they did. Putting Matic in was good. I think putting Matic in was doing a lot of good because the person on the field yesterday, and I have nothing against Pogba, but Pogba was poor yesterday. Pogba gave away the ball. His passing was not accurate enough. It gave the Atalanta a lot of opportunities. Pogba was poor yesterday. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Pogba can have super duper awesome games and do the most, wow things on the field. But then most of the time I've seen him, he looks so uninspired. He's dragging the tempo down. It's not like when in some games you can see him really speed up the tempo, but in a few games this year, he's taking his time and look around. And in this game, you don't have time. You saw it. He was too slow on the ball. He got surprised a lot of times. He got tackled. He got flushed. And he got a little bit panicky sometimes. You can see it on his passing. So taking him off should have been done by halftime. I mean, by halftime, I was like, I was sitting there watching the game. I was like, shit, Pogba is really poor today. And I have to say this was another game that Maguire had that was not up to Maguire's standard. And it became worse after Varane had to leave the field. You could see it really bad then. And Maguire was the fault for the second goal. He's the one who kept Atlanta online. He was not on the offline line, if you know what I mean. He was the one who basically kept that play alive. If he had moved 1 foot out or half foot out, the player would have been in offside. And that has to be on Maguire. And Maguire looks in certain situations, and this is what I've noticed. Maguire can be good when he has the ball and the player in front of him. But when Maguire has to defend someone that runs up on the side of him or runs with him, Maguire becomes a little bit weak and a little bit unsure on what to do. And many times, the opponent's players easily get around him. So Maguire was not up to par yesterday. I think he was one of the worst on the team, along with Pogba. And I have to give fault to David De Gea for the first goal. That is a shot that a goalkeeper of his class and his magnitude should stop easily. That is not an excuse to let that ball go in. There is not. That is a goal. That's a shot that it wasn't even hard. It wasn't even good placement on it. It was like right on his hands. He was unconcentrated. He didn't pay attention, and that's the problem with David De Gea. You know, I praise David De Gea because he's good at stopping. He's a shot stopper. This was not one of his best performances. Let me tell you. Uh, David De Gea's weaknesses is in the box when the players are in the box and trying to finish within his 5 yard, 6 yard box, 5 meter box. Um, he's trying to rely on too much on his feet and stuff like that, but he's not a good goalkeeper when it comes to um, those moments. He has them, and I don't know why he's not doing it more often, but he's a good shot stopper from like 18 yards, well, yeah, 16 to 25 yards. He's good at stopping shots. He is, but he's way too passive in inside the box. Yesterday, I could see a little bit tendency that he tried to be more, roaming around up by the 18-yard box and stuff like that, and starting his thing from where the penalty marker is. But sometimes look at him; he's standing on his goal line, even when the play is way up there, and if there's a long ball coming over the top, many times you see De Gea too passive, too far in, and it results in goals. So yesterday, Pogba has to take blame for the play we did, for not being better. I think Donny van de Beek could have fit this game better earlier on, from the start maybe. But Pogba was a poor player yesterday. Maguire was not up to par. I think that both goals, I want to say that De Gea could have done better on both goals, especially the first one. That was a doozy. And again, even though yesterday you had flashes from Shaw looks off. There's something about him. He looks off. So in the next championship game, we should play Donny van de Beek and Alex Telles. There's not much you can do with Harry Maguire. We need to play him, but I hope that Varane is back for the Villarreal game. We need the speed back there. But then again, we have Bailly. Bailly played good. Let's look at who played good yesterday. Who played good? Well, Bailly played good. I think Bailly played very good. He had some stops. His work rate is above everyone else in the back there. So I want to give him. My sinuses are fucked up today, so bear with me. So Bailly played really good. I think Bruno Fernandes played what we can expect from him on a good level. Ronaldo played good on a good level. Those three I want to say was standouts if you want to look at the performance. I also want to give Wan-Bissaka a good clear good, but he was not on the same level as Ronaldo and brain fart. Bruno, and Ronaldo, and Bailly, but Wan-Bissaka also played a good game. He played a good game. He wanted to go forward. But I want to say that the side that was Wan-Bissaka was on was probably Atalanta's stronger side. So, when you have a Luke Shaw on the other side, only in glimpse and only in periods wants to go forward. Even though Shaw had a good shot at one point that went just above the crossbar, it was. I felt we could have done more on Shaw's side. Cavani did a good workload and work rate when he came on. You see it opened up a little bit more in the front by doing that. Greenwood did good when he came on. Like I said, Sancho and Van de Beek had an impact when they came on. I think they could have a bigger impact if they had played the whole game. I think I would have played maybe um, a little bit different. I think I would have maybe gone a little bit different. I wouldn't have gone that ultra defensive, and because Donny van de Beek and Sancho, especially Sancho, was a victim of formation yesterday. If we had started a different formation, I probably would have said that Sancho would have started. But I want to see. This is just me. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm way off on this, but I think I want to see against both against Villarreal and Young Boys, especially Young Boys at home. I want to see a way more aggressive side, and I think that against Villarreal, a 4-4-2 with the four on the middle, kind of like a diamond, with Cavani and Ronaldo on top. I think that would be damn good. You have four in the back, four in the middle, with a diamond shape, and then you play Cavani and Ronaldo on top. I think that would be good against Villarreal. And then maybe do a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3 against Young Boys at home, and put some pressure on them, and put on top. You put then Cavani, in a 4-3-3. You put Cavani, Rashford, no Cavani, Ronaldo, and Sancho. I think that would be great against Young Boys at home. So, but yesterday, 2-2. Yeah, I think the game went the way the game went was what I was gonna say. I think 2-2 was a result we can look back on when we go down the road and say, okay, it was we did what we had to do. We got a point, and that was it. And we snubbed Atlanta for 2 points. And that's, you have to look at it like that. You get 1 point, and you snub the opponents for 2. Just like we did against Villarreal at home. And just like we did against Villarreal at home. So we snubbed them to 2 points, 3 points even in those games. So and I think that when it comes to head-to-head games in this group, it can be a deciding factor when you come to the last stretch. And we now have beaten Atlanta home. We played them draw away. We have so far beaten Villarreal at home. We now have to go to Spain and get a result there. If we can win against Villarreal in Spain, then I think we can safely say we are through, because I don't see Villarreal really catching us then. The only team we are competing against then is Atalanta. And if we win against Villarreal, that would mean that Atalanta and Manchester United are through to the next stage. Because I don't see it, because Villarreal and Atalanta is playing each other in the last game. So that's the point. That's why if we can win against Villarreal, we will always automatically be through, because that will put us at 10 points. And if, let's say, if Villarreal wins, that will put them at 10 points, but that will keep Atalanta at 7. I just can't see that will be a problem, because then if we go and win against Young Boys at home or a draw at home, that's all we need. I think 11 points in this group will for sure guaranteed put you through. 10 points is one 10-pointer is absolutely because we know that we know that Atalanta is going to beat Young Boys in the next game. We know that. So anything else would be a tremendous surprise. So you know that Atalanta is going to go up to 10 points against Young Boys, and after playing Young Boys, and then they have Villarreal at the end. And let's say that in worst case scenario, Villarreal beats Atalanta, then both of those are 10 points. But if we beat Young Boys, then we are 10 points. But then what happened between us and Villarreal? If we lost that game, then things will come down to probably goal scores and goal differences and head-to-head games and all that shit. So I tell you, this is a very tight group. Very tight group. I said it when it was drawn. When this group was drawn, I said it. This is a tight group. This is a strong group. Don't expect anything for free. So yeah, but we got a draw 2-2. I'm happy with that. We push on. We go on to the next game, and next game is Manchester City. That's gonna be huge. Oh, see you then.